Speaking of products, I did want to mention something that I was looking at recently. So this is kind of off topic, but we've been talking about like technology companies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And obviously a company that you're very familiar with, Apple. You used to work for Apple. I don't know if we talked about that before.
Yeah.
You've definitely talked about it. I didn't know if I was like spilling beans.
We have.
But anyways, the new iPhone SE is so cheap and so good.
You mean cheap or inexpensive?
Inexpensive. Because, okay, so for example, I know this girl and she is rocking an iPhone 5 and she's been rocking an iPhone 5 for a long time. And like,
that might have been one of my favorite ones because I liked how in one hand you could hold the iPhone 4.
It was a little bit taller.
But the 5 made it one app deck taller. I really like the 5.
Yeah, the 5 was a great phone. And she's been, the 5 is very old at this point.
It's archaic.
And she recently like cracked her front screen and all this stuff. And anyways, there's a lot of things. And I was like, how cool would it be if I like bought her an iPhone? Because I was like, dude, you could buy like used ones. Like you could buy a used iPhone 8 for like $100, $200.
I gave you a broken iPhone 8.
I know. Like I literally have a broken iPhone that's better than her iPhone. So I was just looking into it because I'm like, that'd be a really cool thing to just be like, yo, like here's an iPhone, like, you know, whatever. That'd be fun. You know, it wouldn't even be, it's kind of like it would be more worth it for me to like see the reaction. You know what I mean?
Okay, David Dobrik.
Seriously though, but that's why he does that type of stuff. So anyways, I was thinking about it. I was looking into it and I was looking at like how much an iPhone 8 would cost and all this stuff. Dude, it is more reasonable right now to buy the new iPhone SE than it is to buy a used iPhone 8 because for just a little bit more, you get a brand new phone with brand new internals. The iPhone 8 starts, this is without tax, it starts at $400.
Can you still...
Or sorry, not the iPhone 8, the iPhone SE, the new one, starts at $400.
What are the specs?
You get the brand new chip that's in the iPhone 11,
which is like
the A13,
12
or whatever.
13, yeah.
It's the A13, Bionic.
Whoa.
Whatever the fuck that means, doesn't mean shit.
Apple loves
it only has one camera.
things.
It only has one camera, but it's the camera from the 10, I think. So it's a really good camera.
8.
An iPhone camera. No, but they're stealing the camera sensor from the new one.
But
they're stealing the main one.
But it's a single like the 8.
It's the single, yeah. It's the exact same body as the 8, so you can do screen replacements with the screen from the 8. It's the exact same screen from the 8.
What about storage space?
You can go 64, 128, and 256.
Oh, because iPhone 8s still had 16s and 32s, I think.
I think 32 was the lowest, but still, that was laughable. I don't know if it had 16, but still, yes. But the lowest is 64, and then for I think it's only $50 more, you can go to 128. That's the sucker right there. So once you get the 128, then you're with tax almost at $500. It's like $490 with tax. But still, for $490, you're getting an iPhone with all the brand new internals, a decent camera, a decent screen. You still have Touch ID, and you still have the ugly bezels from the old one. So you're still rocking the top bezel and the bottom bezel.
Those aren't too bad if you didn't know they were there.
Yeah, exactly. Over time, you get used to them. But like looking at a phone like mine or like yours that's 100% screen to body ratio, almost, yeah. It's a pretty big step back. But if you're already used to having that phone,
you wouldn't know.
It's not a big deal at all. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, I'm going on eBay looking at these like refurbs, and you can get an iPhone 8 with the same specs 128 for like $300 or $350. And I'm like,
you also have the risk of buying a stolen phone.
Oh, totally.
A locked phone.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And who knows? It might be used. It might be shit. Like I was thinking, I'm like, I'm better off buying a brand new iPhone rather than buying a refurbished one that's older.
No contract, $400.
And it's the only time I've ever realized that that's even remotely possible from Apple. And they are realizing that mid-tier phone, the low to mid-tier phone, a lot of people are rocking those these days because they're realizing that the mid to low grade of phones are just as good as the top of the line phones from like 1 or 2 years ago. And if you don't need that cutting edge, there's no reason to spend $1,000 to $1,400 on a brand new phone when you can get a literal brand new phone with just it's kind of like the Charger Hellcat situation. You're buying the body of the phone from 4 or 5 years ago.
And also, let's not forget, when you're buying Apple products, you're also buying clout too.
I don't think the iPhone SE is getting you any clout, but yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like for the people that don't give a shit about clout, just go with the SE.
Yeah, and
everyone's always like, I want the newest phone, and I want the nearest AirPods, and I want the newest, and I want the bestest. And it's like, I like those people for one reason and one reason only. You can always buy their secondhand stuff 1 year later for like balls cheap.
Yeah.
It's like, I have last year's MacBook Pro. I need this year's MacBook Pro. And I'm like, cool, let me buy your old one from you.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing about it that's so crazy too is Apple is so good. I can't remember where I listened to this, but there was a thing that I listened to. I've talked about it before.
You crack me up because like half of you, when it comes to Apple, you shit on their life, and the other half, you're like, yeah, way to go, Apple.
No, they're genius in so many regards. I just don't like being in their walled garden, but like they are genius.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about what they are able to do with their pricing is they're able to still manage to get their most loyal users to spend the most money and their richest customers to spend the most money while simultaneously getting the lowest and poorest of their customers to just spend a little bit more. For example, they've got the iPhone SE 64 gig for $400, but for only $50 more, you can fucking double your storage to 128, and that's reasonable in the year 2020. So, and then when you put on tax and stuff like that, you're like, oh, the iPhone SE is only 400, and then they end up getting an extra 100 or 50 out of you, and that's the thing.
And then they'll sell that Apple Care to you.
But then the lowest customer is still like, I don't need 128, I'm going for the cheapest, and they still going for that 400, and then you're already in, and then you end up maybe buying a pair of used AirPods from a while ago for like $80, and then you get into their walled garden. But the thing that I was going to mention,
let me do some quick math. Go ahead.
The thing I was going to mention is what they're also doing with that is they're...
Dude, that's so low. So $400 split over a contract, which is 24 months, is an extra $16.66 added on to your...
Yeah, I was
it's
just
nothing.
looking at it.
It's
crazy.
nothing.
So your $50 a month unlimited everything phone plan plus $16. So you're paying $66.66 for a brand new phone and an unlimited plan.
Simultaneously that they are selling a brand new iPhone for $400, Apple is also selling wheels for the Mac Pro, wheels, 4 little wheels that you put on your Mac Pro so you can roll around your tower.
Seriously?
For $700 for a set of wheels for the Mac Pro. You can purchase the wheels by themselves. You don't need to own a MacBook Pro or a Mac Pro. You go online. You can buy the wheels for the Mac Pro that just make the tower go around. There's not even locks on the wheels. So if you have a floor that's slightly off level, your Mac Pro is going to be rolling all around. You can't even lock it in place. The wheels are $700, but you can buy a brand new iPhone for $400.
What about the stand?
Yeah, and the
cinema stand.
The stand for the cinema display is $1,000. But dude, honestly, the wheels are more ridiculous than the $1,000 stand because the stand is sick.
But here's why: the Mac Pro, the base of the Mac Pro, what, $20,000?
No, the base is $6,000.
Okay, still.
You get
$700 for a set of wheels on a $6,000 machine. That's doable.
But that's the craziest part, bro. They are able
if you got money.
That's the thing, is they're able to get their richest customers to spend the most and their poorest customers to just sneak in at the lowest level. They're genius with that shit, bro. You can buy a brand new iPhone for $400. You could buy a set of wheels for your car for $700. You can buy wheels for your car for $700.
Maybe even a wheel and tire if you want a discount tire.
Oh, 100%, bro. 100%. You can get a sick pair of new wheels for your car, yet you are paying for little skateboard wheels for your Mac Pro. You are spending $700, dude.
But
they're genius.
Their customers are loyal, though.
Of course.
Yeah.
And they know they've got them. And they go, oh, you want to roll that around?
It's because that
baby.
ecosystem is fire, though.
Yeah. And my brother was asking me about this the other day. He said, if money was no object, would you go Apple or PC? And I still said PC, but I said, but if I could get a fully loaded Mac Pro, I'd probably do that.
Dude, I'd get the monitor.
Yeah. The monitor's crazy. Well, honestly, I wouldn't even... Yeah, the monitor is crazy, but there are crazier monitors out there, too. I just love that...
Those
ones are like 40 grand.
All of my stuff lives on all of my devices, automatically synced, hands off. Like, it's so... Like, it's just... You never need a third-party app to do anything. It's all just built in. That is my favorite thing. Like,
yeah.
I understand I'm a sucker. I understand I'm in the walled garden. Like, I understand I'm in the ecosystem, but, like, it makes everything so much easier. Like,
for the vast majority of people, it is very much the preferred method. I just can't go back. Like, I'm too used to being able to like have those power features that you just can't even get.
Windows users are the same people that are Android users for that exact reason, and the same reason that like Mac users and
there's
iPhone
a lot of PC users that use
thing.
Apple products because they can't get the same performance of the computers. Like, for example, like Connor Peterson, like he was rocking an iPhone and a MacBook for editing, but he knew that he wanted more performance to edit like 4K stuff. So he built a PC because he knew that you just couldn't get that level of performance out of a Mac.
Unless,
and if you did,
unless you had $1 billion.
you had to buy a Mac Pro. And the funniest thing about that $6,000 Mac Pro, that's the starting point, no one's buying that shit because
it's the
it has a
equivalent
128 gigabyte SSD as the hard drive and 16 gigs of RAM, dude.
It's the equivalent of like the lowest version of the 15-inch MacBook Pro, I think, or even the lowest version of the MacBook Pro 13.
It's exactly. It's like no one's gonna buy it for that price point because it's literally pointless. It's like buying a Ferrari with a fucking 4-cylinder in it. Like there's no. It looks cool.
You mean
can
about
flex
it.
on Instagram.
Get it
but-
about it.
Exactly.
Hope you enjoyed that clip. If you'd like to see the full episode, click right here. If you'd like to subscribe, click here. If you'd like more clips, we got 2 more right over here.